Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Melanie and my channel is Melanie Loves Mexico. I am thrilled to say it is November of 2025 and I am back in Mexico staying at the Ocean Riviera Paradise, which is a 4.5-star resort located we're very close to Playa del Carmen. It was about a 45-minute ride from the Cancun airport. This is actually our third time here. I'm here with my husband Dave and I'm just very excited to be here and get to show you guys around. So for those of you that have watched my videos before and my subscribers, thank you so much. I really just do this for fun. I don't get anything. Believe me, nobody knows that I do these except you guys that watch them. So it's very cool to me that you guys take the time out of your day to watch. And for those of you that are new, I honestly started doing these. I've been traveling mostly to all-inclusives for most of my adult life. Big travel fan, and obviously Mexico's my favorite, but I do go other places as well. And during the pandemic, I just really missed traveling. Being Canadian, our travel restrictions were quite strict and I just really missed it. So I don't even know how one day I kind of fell upon the fact that there was a whole community of people doing YouTube vlogs of resorts. And I fell hard and I just kept watching them just to sort of, feel like I was still traveling. And I said to myself, this is such a better forum than what TripAdvisor's become. I just don't really see a ton of value in that anymore. I used to be really big on TripAdvisor. And I just thought, well, when I get to travel again, I'm definitely going to start doing these. And I'm not great at it. I don't edit things well. There's some people who do these really, really well. I'm probably not that person, but it is fun for me, and I do just like to share, like I said. So back to this trip. We are here for 6 nights. This is our third time at this resort. So I guess the main reasons we've picked it again, obviously we liked it the first 2 times or we wouldn't have come back. Price, I really didn't want to spend a lot of money on this particular vacation. It's kind of one we're just squeezing in between a very hectic work schedule for both my husband and me. And I just feel like, from our previous 2 trips, that this resort really offers very good value for money. And I almost hesitate to say that because then everyone's going to want to come here, but and then the value, it'll get more expensive. But I do really feel like for what you pay, you get more than what you pay for here. Is it incredibly, is it as fancy as some of the places we've been to, or is it high end? No. But honestly, I feel like what you get is quite a lot more than what you're paying for. So that's great. I'm going to turn this around so you don't have to see my face for a little while. It is a little cloudy and cool today. I did put my running shoes on, so hopefully we can get through this relatively quickly. This is a large resort, but it's not a confusing layout at all. It's basically a straight line from the lobby right down to the beach, with everything, the rooms, the restaurants, everything being right along the same pathway. So I'm hoping it won't take us too long, but let's see. It's also, I'm just going to say in advance, it's quite an active resort this early in the morning. It's about 7:30. Unfortunately, the sun doesn't come up until about 7 right now, so I didn't have a lot of opportunity to do these before people are up and about. It's an active resort, a lot of people jogging, a lot of people out walking. So if I stop talking and I just hold the camera for a little while, I will stop it and kind of do little check-in points when I'm not going to look like a crazy person talking to myself. So let's go. So this is obviously the main lobby. This is the main check-in desk. This is the check-in area for privileged guests. I will go into that a little bit more, what privilege gets you. It's quite busy and loud in here right now. And this is the check-in and customer service area for the El Beso section, which is the adults-only block of rooms. This is the main lobby bar. Honestly, this is one of my favorite lobby bars that I've been to. I love a lobby bar that feels like it's really the center of the resort, and there's like lots of seating. You know, in the evening, this is usually very busy. It's just kind of, like I said, the center hub of the resort where everyone goes before or after dinner to grab a drink. The drinks here are quite good, especially at this bar. This is the piano bar. It's kind of hard to see and it's locked right now. This is an adults only bar. Unfortunately, whenever we've been down here, they seem to be doing karaoke. I'm not a karaoke lover. If people are good at it, it's not bad, but most of the time people aren't. Just gonna go over here where it's a little bit quieter. Actually, you know what? Let's go outside. So just a little bit about our kind of check-in process in the lobby that we just walked through that was very busy. Make sure you know that there are different check-in sections. I did know that, and I still got kind of bamboozled by the having to wait in the main line when we actually had the El Beso section. I kind of thought, well, maybe that wasn't open, or so we wait. They checked our reservation and said to wait in the main line, which we did. We were there for, I mean, not forever, but it was pretty slow. And then we got to the front and they're like, you're in the wrong line. So that's a little bit frustrating. Again, not the end of the world, but just know that there are 3 different check-in areas. So, the other thing I will say about the check-in process here, it was a little bit kind of hectic. You know, when we got off our transfer, they said, you know, leave your bags here and then we'll help with them. When we went back to get help with them, they were just like, oh, you could just walk, which is fine, but it is a big resort. We only had carry-on bags, so walking with them was really not a huge thing, but just, you know, it wasn't like, if this was my first impression of this resort, it probably wouldn't have been my best first impression. The other thing is, this is just a very nitpicky thing. I feel like when you have been to a resort multiple times, I don't expect to be upgraded. I don't expect to get anything special, but it's just nice to get a, hey, welcome back. You know, hey, we appreciate your loyalty, something. And that just did not happen here at all. Even when we said, you know, they said, oh, it's your first time here, which I had noted on a reservation that it was our 3rd time here. There was still just like, oh, okay. Like it just, I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more loyalty when you check into a place more than once. So this is the theater area here. They do shows every night at 9. I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen a show this trip. My husband especially is not a show person. When I travel with friends, we do check them out on occasion, but it's just not his thing, so haven't done it. This is their bowling alley. Haven't used that either. And the sports bar is just up above. The sports bar does become a disco at night. Over here, this is Route 66. This is kind of like their American diner barbecue style restaurant. We have not tried this one either. The menu actually looks pretty good, but I feel like I eat kind of snacky foods by the pool for lunch, and then for dinner I'm not really wanting like a burger. They do have like meats and stuff like barbecue. So I've heard it's good. I don't think we're gonna get to it. This is actually our last full day, so I don't really think we're gonna get to that one. This is the Japanese teppanyaki restaurant. I am gonna try to make reservations for this one tonight. They do have an app, like a web-based app here that you can make reservations for some of the restaurants. Some are walk-in only. The Japanese, you do need to make a reservation in person for, and that starts at about, I think it starts at 8:30. So I'm going to try to do that today. Why not? I like to try out as many of the a la carte restaurants as we can. Again, looking back towards the lobby, and out here in this plaza area in the evening, they do a lot of, they have live music. They have, one night they had a little go-kart track set up for kids. They do a lot of stuff for kids here really well. We don't have kids with us, but I do really think they do a great job with the kids programming in the evenings. We've been mostly staying in the adult section pool, so I don't know if they do a lot for kids during the day, but when we walk by the kids area, I will show you the playground and the that stuff. This over here is the Italian restaurant. We did eat here. It was so good. I feel terrible. It was so hot in there. Like, I really almost thought I was going to pass out. I was so hot. I really couldn't enjoy my food. So that is kind of my second choice if we can't get into the Japanese tonight, to try that again. They do say that you can only have dinner at each a la carte restaurant once. So I don't know. I'll try. Maybe we can get in. Maybe not. That is new. When we were here the last 2 times, there was no restrictions on how many times you could eat at a certain restaurant. If you wanted to eat at the Italian every night you were here, you could. That's new. I don't love it, but there's probably a good reason for it. Over in that direction over there, there's actually some really nice tennis courts. I'm not going to walk over there because there's actually people playing tennis, but they're actually nice grass court tennis courts. I think there's 3 of them. I did hear people say they were playing pickleball as well. I assume they're just playing pickleball on the tennis courts. I have not stumbled across any pickleball courts. This is the gym and the spa. Haven't used the gym either, but I did use it last trip and it is actually quite a nice gym. So as I mentioned, it's a straight, just this pathway pretty much takes you all the way down to the beach. This over here is Mike's Coffee Shop. It is such a cute, I don't want to go in again, there's too many people, but it's such a cute coffee shop. They have, it looks like like you could be like at a legitimate coffee shop somewhere at home. The only complaint, and it's not really a complaint because it's the same at all inclusives, the cups are so small. Like, you need 3 of them to have a real actual cup of coffee. This is the ice cream parlor. It only opens at night. I wish it was open during the afternoon. Sometimes just like if it's kind of a cloudy day, or it'd be nice to just be able to pop up here and grab an ice cream. Over here, this is the Blue Moon restaurant. So this is an adults only restaurant. If you're staying in the El Beso adult section, you can use this for breakfast. It's a very nice breakfast option. Don't sleep on that one, because when we get to the buffet, I will go into the buffet a little bit. Just some shops down here. They are what you would expect price-wise. 2 bags of chips were $16 American. Therefore, I forgoed eating chips. There is, for those of you wondering, where you can see all these little covered areas, there is a tram that runs back and forth along this pathway pretty much all day, every day. I don't know what time it stops at, but it does run pretty frequently. So if you don't feel like you want to do this walk, you can take the tram. Sometimes I plan on doing that and then I just get I'm like, I don't want to wait, so I end up walking. I like walking too, so. Over here is the buffet. The buffet is actually quite good. The only thing about the buffet is it gets so, it's not super well organized in that, like, especially for breakfast, if you're waiting for an omelet, there's a long line, but the line actually blocks the other food. So you feel like you can't really get close to the food if you're not willing to cut people off that are waiting for eggs, and then they think you're butting in line, and it's kind of a whole thing. So I haven't loved the buffet for breakfast. It's just a little too, And it's just so busy here this week too that they're just running out of things. Like when you think, okay, I'm gonna go get a fried egg from that tray, by the time you get to that tray it's empty, you know. So are you gonna starve? No, obviously not, but it is a little bit disorganized, I feel. The food is good though once you get it. I'm just going over here towards the family section. So this block of rooms over here is called the Daisy section. So it is obviously the most family friendly. They have a playground, they have a little water park. I honestly, like, this is so great for kids. I would say probably about to the age of 8. After that, they probably might think it's a little babyish, but until that point, I think every time we walk by here, we see little kids having so much fun. And then in the distance there is actually just like a regular pool for the parent. Well, obviously kids can go in there too, but a regular pool and a swim up bar for this section. And then over here, this is a switch from the last 2 times that we were here. The last 2 times we were here, this was actually the adult section called El Beso. They switched it recently. This is now called the Eden section. So they basically just flip-flop 2 blocks of rooms. So this is the Eden section of rooms and the Eden pool. And as I said, this used to be, for anyone that's been here before, this is the old El Beso section. The pools are all pretty similar in the sections, like layout and size-wise. This looks very similar to the El Beso pool. They're quite a good size. You can see that people are already out putting towels out. I will say this resort is not too crazy for the whole like chair game. I don't know, we've been out probably around 9:30 every morning, and we've always managed to get seats, so not too crazy. You can see the Daisy section we were just in does not have swim out rooms. All the other sections do. Our last trip here, we did have a swim out, and I did really enjoy it. The only thing is they don't connect to the main pool, so you're they will come around and bring drinks and stuff, but you're not really part of the social vibe of the pool because you're kind of just in your own little area. I did talk to some people too, and they said that these pools are really, really cold as well, like much colder than the main pool. I don't remember that from our stay here, but that was a few years ago, so. One amazing thing about this resort is there is a lot of wildlife. There is a whole group of monkeys that live here. If you come out early in the morning, like around now, they are usually quite active. You can see there's a bunch of people standing in this area. That's usually where the monkeys are. Oh, there's one up on I was down here walking up to the lobby to start this video, and they were just walking along the pathway. They seem as interested in us as we are in them. So that is it's very fun to watch. There's also a ton of coatis, which are coatis. I'm not really ever sure how you say that, but lots of those. They're curious little creatures. They will go right in your bag. They will follow you if they think you have food. But they're cute. And I do see people like trying to pet them and stuff, and I'm just like, you know, they're still wild animals, so I don't think that's the smartest thing, but you know, people have to do their own thing. Over here we have two more restaurants, the Mexican and the steakhouse. We did go to the steakhouse last night. It was really good. I've actually found the food here to be, especially in the a la cartes, quite like very high end, again, for the price we paid. I don't know if we're going to, again, we're out of time, so Mexican probably won't happen unless I can't get a reservation somewhere else. This little bar area over here at night turns into a margarita bar. The last few mornings they've had it as a coffee bar, which is a really nice idea. This block of rooms over here is the Privilege section. So Privilege is like their upgraded service package. The rooms actually all look pretty identical, like style-wise, size-wise. What Privilege gets you, and we did do Privilege our last trip, we did not this time. What Privilege gets you is upgraded alcohol, but what I have noticed is previous days, the pool bars, you could get the upgraded alcohol at any of the pool bars as long as you had a wristband that said you were Privileged. This time it seems to only be in the Privilege bar, the Privilege lounge, and in the lobby bar. So if it's important to you that, you know, you're staying in Privilege but you want to be able to come over here to the adult section, you're not going to be able to get the same options drink wise. So this is the adult section. One thing I am going to say is I don't love how a lot of websites and stuff advertise this property, because they do make it seem like the El Beso, Ocean Riviera Paradise El Beso, is a completely separate resort, or at the very least a much more adult section with a lot of things in it. It really is just this block of rooms that, again, don't look any different than any of the other rooms. They look the same. You do get adult channels in the room. That's probably the only difference. I hope they don't have those in the family sections. And this pool and this little snack bar. So it's not truly what I would consider an adult even section of a resort. It's a block of rooms that you happen not to have children with a pool, and that's it. So if you are someone who, if you've watched my other videos, you know I do usually select a resort that is either adults only or has an adult section. I don't really consider this an adult section because there's really nothing more to it than this, but we do like this resort, so I do make a little bit of a compromise on it because the pool part is the most important to me, but you are going to see families and children everywhere else. The only other exception would be the Blue Moon restaurant. That is adults only, and the piano bar is adults only. But any adults can have access to those. Actually, that I think at dinner any adults can have access to those, that restaurant. But so yeah, it's just, to me, this isn't truly an adult section. But as long as you know that and you're okay with it, it's definitely an added bonus. So again, you can see here they have the swim up rooms as well. Swim up bar. People are out taking their chairs already. I should have brought my towels down. The one thing here, the towel place does not open very early. So we've been keeping our towels from the night before, just so we have something to put out on the chairs in the morning. I will say it poured yesterday, so our towels are probably not very dry. Oh, I'm sorry, I was going into more about what Privilege got you. Privilege, you also get a butler. You have access to a Privilege lounge, which I'm not going to try to, well, maybe on the way. Obviously, I can't get in because I don't have Privilege this time. It is nice. They have breakfast there. I believe they have dinner there as well. So it is a nice bonus. We did ask about upgrading it to Privilege when we arrived, and they said the resort was too full, so we couldn't do it. I'm actually not, I'm not upset about it. I don't think you need it here. If it's a decent price, I don't think it's not worth doing, but I don't think we've really missed out on anything major by not having it. They actually have a pretty good selection of alcohol that is included even if you don't have privilege. So unless you're super picky, I think you're going to find something you like to drink. Morning. And there you can see there's the little trolley that takes people around. Walk out here a little. So this beach, again, it's kind of a cloudy day, so we're not going to see it at its best, but I will say it is better than when we were here last time. It is very small. It is a very narrow beach. They have definitely taken a hit with storms. So there's not much of a beach left at this point, unfortunately. But the water's quite nice this week. Not a ton of seaweed. There's a very nice, my finger's in the way there. There's a very nice pool here that's kind of right on the ocean. It's lovely. I haven't used it this trip. It is always very, very full. A little juice bar. This is another a la carte restaurant. It's kind of like their seafood fish restaurant. During the day it also turns into a snack bar, which I'm hoping to get down here for lunch today. Do a quick little shot of the beach. Again, it's a bit cloudy today, but they are out raking all the seaweed. And again, not much seaweed right now, which is nice. It's a big problem in Mexico. Okay, well, let's find a little quiet spot here. Actually, this is interesting to see. So, I don't know if you can see through the glare, but this is kind of the selection of alcohol that they have. And none of this is privileged. So, I mean, you can see there's definitely name brand items. So the thing is, if you don't ask for a certain brand at a resort, they're going to give you the cheapest one, because why wouldn't they, right? I mean, why would they give you something high end if you've just said, I want a vodka soda? They're going to give you the cheapest vodka they have, which makes sense. If you say, I want a Smirnoff, or I want whatever they have up here, Absolute, they will give you that. So you just have to be kind of specific if that matters to you. And here I am again. So yeah, that's pretty much it from here. I actually did that much faster than I thought I would. We're under half an hour. That's great. Again, I think that this resort is great for families. I actually do think it's good. It is a very diverse mix. I will say that. Like, there are people from honeymooners. There's a lot of weddings here. Young couples, seniors, people with small children, people with teens. I do think this particular week it's mostly small children. And someone pointed out to me that a lot of kids right now are doing midterms and stuff. So that does kind of make sense because they can't really get away right now. The resort is very full. I will say it was a lot busier on the weekend than it has been the last few days. We got here Thursday, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are leaving on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So I will say, like, Saturday and Sunday were by far the busier days. I think that's just common because a lot of people do just come for weekends. So that's pretty common, but I've never felt like we couldn't get a chair. As I said, the buffet has been a bit hit and miss as to whether you can actually, it's not so much that they don't have food, it's just hard to get to the food. So there have been a few mornings where I've been eating quite a random assortment of things that I can just actually get my hands on. But overall, I would say this resort has kind of been my fallback and my price comparison for a few years now, that when I'm looking for trips, I will always look this one up, because I feel like if I can't find, I like trying new places, but if I can't find somewhere new to try, this is one that I will fall back on and always check the price. And in this case, it is what we, you know, it was the best value that I could find. And even my husband said last night that he totally agrees with me that this resort does offer more value than what you paid. Now, he didn't even know what we paid because I do all of that, but when I kind of told him the price difference between here and Majestic Elegance, where we stayed on our last trip, he was like, yeah, that's a lot of money. Like, you know, that is a really big difference. So he can totally see that, you know, did we like Majestic Elegance more? Sure. But is this close? And is it like, are we getting more than what we paid for? 100%. So I would definitely recommend this resort to pretty much anyone. I would say if you're an adult couple without children, upgrading to El Beso is worth it. Upgrading to Privilege, I'm a bit, like when we did it last time, the price difference was very small. If it had been that small again, I would have done it, because why not give yourself, you know, that extra little bit of comfort if you can afford it, but it's not necessary here. I don't feel like we've missed out on things. We've gotten into all the restaurants we wanted to go to. I think the drink quality is good, the food quality has been good, the service is good. I don't think that you need the Privilege upgrade, but if you can afford it, it is nice. The lounge is nice, and I don't really use a butler, but it is nice to have someone make your reservations and stuff for you instead of having to do it yourself. But again, not the end of the world if you can't do it. I've been rambling for too long. I apologize. I always think these through in my head, like what I'm going to say, and then I end up missing things, or I end up talking about things I didn't intend to. So I will probably add a few more comments in the description. And yeah, if you have any questions at all about this resort or Mexico in general, I would love to answer them. Just leave me a question. I always answer relatively quickly. I get notifications on my phone, and I get very excited when anyone has a question. So please reach out, and I'm happy to help. But otherwise, that's it for me. Don't know when my next trip's going to be. Again, as I said, it's a crazy winter for us, so it might not be until May or June. But hopefully I can sneak something in at some point over the winter. But thank you again for watching. Love you guys. Really appreciate you.